Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Ask the Expert. I am Dr. Charlene Reeves, and I'm really excited about today because our guest today is back by popular demand. I can't believe how many responses we got on the last show, and it's Dr. Beth Halbert. So yay, she's back with us to give us more information about our teams and how to work with them. Do you know that she's been in this business for 20 plus years? So do you think she knows what she's doing? She's worked with so many families and she teaches parents how to get in touch with your teams. And today we're going to talk about triggers. And that's where we left off in the last show. So if you didn't hear our last show, go back and you will see what she had to say. But it helps so many parents in this difficult time because we're all together, aren't we? We are one big happy family all the time. And Dr. Beth knows how to work with your teens, particularly because they are the hardest to work with. At least that's what I think. But Dr. Beth will tell you they're not because she knows the secrets to working with them. And one of the things I love that she says is the more we get on them, the further apart we get. So what do we do then? Have you ever wondered about that? Well, today you are going to find out. And it all goes on within each of us. It's not about those people out there. It's about how we think because we are responsible for what goes within ourselves. So I am going to take a little break here just for a little bit of advertisement, and I will be right back. And here we go with Ask the Expert. If you didn't hear, we are going to have Dr. Beth Halbert on the show. And she's going to tell us how to work with our teens because I think that is one of the most difficult things that we need to deal with in our lives if we have children. So welcome, Dr. Beth. I'm so glad you're here with us because I know there's a lot of parents that need you right now.
Oh, is that the truth? There is a little bit going on in the world, right?
Just a tad bit, yes. And you know what? It's all over the world. It isn't just in the United States, which is where we are. It's in Canada and Australia. And I mean, you must have an abundance of clients.
Well, there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of concerns. And I love to bring the love and the fun and the playfulness to all the hurt and pain. So that is my specialty, is finding the light in the muck, the muckety muck. I call it when you're going down the toilet bowl, just enjoy the ride, hit the bottom, and then pop back up.
Yeah, but the toilet bowl doesn't do that. Usually we get flushed, right? And that's what happens with a lot of teens.
Toilet bowl. Mine has the bottom. Back up we come.
All right. So we're going to talk about triggers and how we get triggered by our tweens and what we're supposed to do with them.
Right. So this is a beautiful opportunity. Our kids are actually the space and time of waking us up to our greatness. So they're learning to individuate from us. And here's the secret, Dr. Charlene. Many of us adults never had the opportunity to be totally authentic with our parents.
True.
We never got to be our mean, nasty, yucky, mad, sad, hurt, big feeling selves.
Right.
Instead, we had to put on a happy face. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. We had to learn how to actually become parentified parents. where we took care of our parents and became what I call the super 7-year-old of the world, the little worker bees, the good doobies, the perfectionistic, moralistic, trying to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And our kids have come in with a whole new way of being. They're like, just because you say so doesn't make it so.
Yeah,
And
I know.
you boomers don't look like you're having so much fun. We may want to find our own path.
Yes.
You're on your third marriage, you're broke, you're not happy, you're working hard, you're wanting me to work hard. And I'm like, that doesn't look fun to me. So I think I'm going to go in a whole different direction. So the key that I do is I actually help the adults, the parents, find their own authentic inner teenage voice. I help them shine, be authentic, fall in love with who they are so that they can then tolerate their kids.
Wow, that's a whole different perspective than what most people try to do. They're always trying to fix the kids instead of fixing themselves first, right?
Right.
Because it's always someone else's problem. That's what I was just writing about this morning. It's always someone else's problem. And then that's what makes us ill, because every time we get angry at our kids, we're poisoning our own system.
Exactly. Project, split. I'm okay, you're not. I'm on the good team, you're on the bad team. Versus yes and when we can come together, then we can actually have love, peace, and harmony on this planet.
Absolutely. Yes. But we have to take responsibility for our own emotions, correct?
Yes. 100%. So I even take it a step further, Dr. Charlene, from taking accountability and responsibility for your own emotions. Most people are like, blame, project. You made me mad. You made me sad. You ruined my life. You did this to me. So that's like the lowest. The second is, okay, I'll take my half. You take your half. Try to take half a baby. See how that works for you. So
that's an interesting visual.
That dog don't run. So then the third up level that some people are willing to take on is 100% of themselves, while the other person takes 100%. That's rare, but occasionally you can find another person on this planet that does that. Mm-hmm. I take it up another level. And if you want to play with teenagers, and if you want to play full out, this is how you play. If your kid's lying to you, maybe they think you can't handle the truth. I lost you.
No, you did. Go right ahead. I'm watching you.
Okay, perfect. So if your kid is lying to you, maybe, just maybe, they think that you can't handle the truth. If they tell you the truth, you're going to crumble. They're going to get in trouble. Something's going to go bad and wrong. So when I look at the results that I'm getting from the children and the people around me as my own reflection, and I told this on the last show, for example, when a little kiddo has crayons and he's mad and he's about to spew them, you know, when you see that look, and the crayons are about to go all over the room, I match their anger and I match their intensity as fast as I can. And I say, boy, you are so mad. And it's almost like they instantly got gotten. They grabbed the crayon box, they put it to the side, and they said, that's right, I'm mad. So I'm teaching them to use their words instead of acting it out. So that's the game. Feel those feelings and name them out. Name them out so you don't act out on somebody's head.
Don't you love her songs? Fabulous. So now you are really into working with kids in the LGBTQ group. And I know that you were telling, and parents, yes, of course. And I know you were telling me that parents often think that when the kids are gay or in this group, they may think that they're not as good as they are, right? Okay.
They think, well, actually, they think the parents feel like they're done for. The parents feel that they are done for. They have destroyed their child. They've made a mistake. They've blown it as a parent. and they're scared to death that their child is going to go through hell, that their child is going to be judged and condemned and bullied for the rest of their life. But what happens, Dr. Charlene, is the parent unconsciously actually becomes the biggest bully of them all.
Wow, that is an awakening right there. I hope we have a lot of parents that are watching this that have this challenge in their minds, because it's really not a challenge. It's just within them. Yet again, it's within them, right? So how do you deal with these parents?
First of all, I have a page on Facebook that's a Be Proud page, and I've interviewed a lot of phenomenal, successful LGBTQ, I say LMNOP, parents that or individuals that have survived having the curse, being contaminated. I myself being one. When I was a teenager, I came out to my mom and dad when I was 14. And we grew up in a Southern Baptist church in Nashville, Tennessee. We had one of the most liberal churches probably in the whole United States. We actually got kicked out of the Southern Baptist Convention because we were too liberal. And after the preacher that led when I was young, the next minister was a lesbian minister. So that's how progressive my parents were. And they still flipped out. They still freaked out. And I had an incredible story. I've got a parent that's in my power parenting class, and she and her partner are women, and their son has a dad who is trans, and he took a year to come out to his parents.
My gosh. And he was already in that environment.
Yes,
so why did it take him so long?
That's what I'm saying. This is so profound. And the mom told me, she said, I hate to admit it, but I was scared for my son. Even being who you are. So there's internalized homophobia, and there's, fear for your child. And one of the really cool things that I have studied, because I spent 25 years trying to fix myself. I started at 14, went through therapy for 15 years, had 4 days of analysis for 11 years, trying desperately to fix myself. I thought if I could just stop being in love with this one person in my life, I can be in love with anybody. And son of a gun, if I didn't fall in love with another woman. And so, and yes, are you trying to fix yourself not only as you're LGBTQ, but are you trying to fix yourself because you're too white, you're too brown, you're too girly, you're too fill in the blank, fat,
and not fashionable enough? That's a big thing. Fashion is such a difficult thing for teens, right? Because that's why they do the bulimia thing and the anorexia, is to try and fit into fashion.
And I would also say, Dr. Charlene, there's a second reason for that. The second reason is a way to individuate from your mom or dad, especially girls with moms and boys with dads, especially. Because if you are a parent and you've had a child that is food phobic or food challenged or any of these things, the second you say don't eat, what do? The second you say do eat, what do? The second you say don't eat this, what do? So the more I'm attached to how my child looks, acts, behaves, does, thinks, whatever, feels, the more we are locked in to each other. So I help the parents get in I've done my life. Who are you going to be? Your turn.
Yeah.
Like if you choose to get arrested, you will enjoy your night in jail. I don't know. You'll tell me about it. If you wreck your car, you'll enjoy your bicycle. It's okay. You'll survive it, hopefully.
Yes. Right. But the big thing is the emotional impact that it has. It's not just about the physical. And I think that's what people miss out on so much, is that emotional impact. And I wanted to mention to you, I've had a number of clients that have been on the spectrum of the LGBTQ. And one of the biggest challenges, they lose their church, they lose their friends, they lose their parents. How do you deal with that kind of thing? How do you, as a parent, support that kind of situation?
Well, I'm going to say, Dr. Shirlene, there's only one person or two that really matter to the child. Guess who it is? It's not the church. It's not the friends. It's not the grandparents.
Themselves.
It's actually the parents.
The parents.
Parents.
Oh.
So the parents are trying to protect their children from everybody else shaming them. They're trying to protect their children from everybody else telling them they're bad, they're wrong, they should be different, they're going to be bullied. And unconsciously, the parent becomes the one that completely devastates and hurts the child out of pure love, My parents said to me, you'll never have friends. You'll never have this. They were trying to protect me. You'll never have this. You'll never have that. I have so many friends, I don't know what to do with myself. So, and I love my life. I couldn't be any happier as a human being. And there is a way to get to be yourself. And God don't make no junk.
Right. That's absolutely right.
So we are here to be our unique gifts. And if a parent has one ability and a child has another ability, how do we find the yes and?
Yes, absolutely. Yes and. So give us a scenario of how we could use a yes and.
Okay. So take any conflict. Pick any conflict. I need you to do your homework. I need you to go to bed on time. I need you to whatever.
I don't want you out so late. That's a good one.
I don't want you out so late. So how do we find the yes and? Does your child want to be safe? What do you think?
I would think so.
Absolutely. Does your child want to be successful?
Absolutely.
Does your child want to be happy and have a fabulous long life?
Absolutely. Yes, of course.
Okay. So I don't have to fight for that.
Okay.
When I, the parent, own those four things, then the child is rebelling against both wanting the exact same thing. Like we're creating a fight around something that's not even the fight. I have an adorable 16-year-old that is on our power hour on Tuesday. So every Tuesday at noon. And she's like the rock star on the power hour. And I'll say things to her like, if I said to you, and I'm your mom, you take this $1 million and you put it in your bank account. You put it in your bank account.
In a mean way.
In a mean way. I say to her, is that going to be hard for you to put that in your bank? And she just grins and she's like, yes, it's going to be hard. Like even when they know it's for their own good, it still feels like they're shooting themselves in the foot if they give you the power of their life. It feels like you're a puppet on a string and they'd rather go down dying and fighting than be controlled.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that because I remember when I was a teen, I didn't want my parents controlling me and they were extremely controlling and the punishment was miserable. It was usually I had to be around them more. So that was the worst punishment I could have, right?
Or even better, I'm going to send you to the room and they're like, please don't throw me in the briar patch. Please don't put me in timeout. I have parents that come to me sometime and they'll say, I've taken the child's phone, I've taken the child's door, food, their clothes, their friends, their life, their extracurricular activity, and the child sits in the middle of their bedroom floor and says, I don't care.
Yeah, that's right. They don't care. They really don't.
Now what are you going to do?
Yeah, where do you go from there?
I highly recommend not to play chicken with a teenager. Highly recommend it. Unless you are willing to let your child die, because they are willing to die to be right.
Mm-hmm. You're right. That's absolutely
And
right.
it's not you die. It's, are you willing to let your child die?
Yes.
And so I'm just like, I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. I choose relationship over righteousness.
Yes. So I have a really good question for you.
Let's hear it.
What is the best way for a parent to help their child come out? What do you suggest?
So you're assuming you, the parent, already has a pretty good idea that the child is LGBTQ. So you assume they are, you know where they are, you know what they're thinking. That's the first challenge. They may or may not be. Sometimes, and this may not be politically correct, and I'm going to say this anyway. Sometimes, if I think you don't want me to be gay, I may choose to be bi just to spite you. I may choose to be trans just to spite you. And it doesn't mean it's not true when it's true. I can choose to be rebellious with my life. I can choose to be rebellious with food. I can choose to be rebellious with my lifestyle. I can choose to be rebellious with anything that you're attached to. If you're Republican, I may choose Democrat. If you're Christian, I may choose atheist. If you're straight, I may choose gay. If you're gay, I may choose straight. There's lots of ways I can intentionally intend to differentiate from you. Here's the trick, if you so choose to accept it. Nothing is set in stone. I may change my other mind 10 more times. I'm still willing to be wrong. I still may fall in love with a man. So don't get attached to your child's outcome, and then they get to follow their own inner source. Then it doesn't get complicated.
So here's another question for you. That was a great answer. Thank you. So the answer is don't get attached to whatever you're thinking yourself, right?
Yep.
That's it.
I'm willing to be wrong, especially about your life. Who do I think I am? Look, one really fast question, Dr. Charlene, I ask parents. If I could give you the power, dinkle, dinkle, dink, and you could be the God of your parents and choose every decision for them, would you want that power? And guess what every parent says?
Well, yeah, of course.
Actually, would you want to play God of your parents?
Not with my parents.
I mean, or with your children. Would you want to play God
with my kids? No.
And actually, I've never had a parent yet say, yes, I want to play God with my kids. However, we attempt to do so, and the children feel like we are doing that.
Got it. Okay. So one last question.
Yes.
I was watching a video. It was a documentary on YouTube. And this child, it was a boy, and he wanted to become a woman. And he was only 16. And his mother got behind this. Next thing you know, he's taking injections and dressing as a woman. And she really encouraged him because she wanted him to be happy. That was the whole point. So then he develops breasts and he does all this stuff. And then he decides 2 years later, he doesn't want to do this anymore.
Yep.
And he had to have the breasts removed after that. It was horrible. So what could she have done differently?
So there's two sides of the coin. There's one side owning it and doing it for them. And there's another side owning it and keeping them from doing it. Either way, you're taking control of their life.
Right.
So if a child wants to have the surgery, and this is, I would hate to be the parent that has a young child or a doctor that has to make the decision. This child is going to be a man or a woman.
Right.
And we may choose wrong for a child and for an infant. If it is possible to let the child come up with their own answer, come up with their own idea and get themselves through it. For example, I have had kids that have made their own money to buy the
surgery.
process,
Yeah.
the surgery. They've made their own money to take the injections. The parent was there supporting whatever they choose to do, yet the child gets to choose and they can change their other mind. Just like college. Just like college. I have a kiddo that I'm working with right now that the parents are going to give the child college. The child may get to college and drink it up. So I say to the parents, are you okay to pay for a year of college knowing that that may be?
Mm-hmm. And it happens a lot. That happens a lot.
So I said to the child, I said, do you want to take power over yourself? There's actually a book, Debt-Free College. And I said to the child, would you like to have your own power where you get to choose what happens with your own career? So if you mess up, you fix it. If you choose to go through the surgery, you can choose to not go through the surgery, but you're not having to deal with your own pain. And then also the judgment and the shame and the look of, terror on your parents' face.
Yeah. Plus it's expensive for the parents, because when you think about how expensive these colleges are, they might have spent $100,000 for 2 years of college. And then the child decides, oh, I'm going to go a different direction. It's like,
and as long as you're okay with that, that's the thing. If you have attachment, then the child is more likely to rebel. I can't tell you how many people I knew in my doctoral program that actually got all the way to the end of 20 years of training to decide, I don't like people. I don't want to be a stupid therapist. There's very few people that actually get their doctoral degree. So many all but dissertations.
I agree.
And those that do, so many don't get licensed.
Yes, you're right. Because they don't want to be responsible. They don't want to take that extra step to be able to support others, because they went through it all trying to heal themselves. That's the reality.
Yes. And to please their parents and to look good for their parents.
Yes, absolutely.
They didn't find their own authentic self. When I did my doctoral program, every quarter I would say, I have a right to quit. I gave myself permission to quit every single quarter. I'm here to have fun. If this feels right, I'm doing it all the way to the bitter end. Mm-hmm. There was no attachment because I had to make sure all parts of me were on board.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Dr. Beth, I love that you come on the show, because I know you're helping a lot of parents right now. Boy, are you helping a lot of parents, and we're getting a lot of love up there. So you're considered to be America's teenologist. Is that how people find you?
They can find me at drbeth.com, drbeth.com. Okay. And I have all sorts of free resources. There's a tab up there that says free stuff, and you can take a parenting quiz. You can get my Mom's Choice Award winning. It actually won a Gold Choice, a Mom's Choice Gold Award. It's called Defiance, helping your child express their unique voice while keeping your sanity.
And they are all so unique, aren't they?
Right?
Yes.
Exactly. I love you, Dr. Charlene. You are amazing, and the gifts that you bring this world. One of my favorite 10 key concepts is mirror, mirror. And you are one of my most fun, fabulous, wonderful mirrors in my life.
Oh, so sweet. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you. You're such a blessing to everyone. Thank you for being with us. And I'll see you very soon in the Authors and Speakers Visibility Playground for sure, right?
Love it.
Thank you,
Love that
Dr.
group.
Beth. So everyone, I hope you really enjoyed today. Dr. Beth is so phenomenal. I really, really appreciate who she is and that she takes her busy time to come on here and share with you her techniques so that you could just survive till the next day. So if you need help, go to drbeth.com. I put that up there for you. Let me put it up once again, just so you have it. And reach out to her. She's such a lovely person, as you can see. And she has 20 years of background. That's why I bring her on the show, because she has so much meaning that she brings the kids and the parents. So if you want to join a lot of like-minded people, and we even have a referral mastermind where we all give each other referrals, go to the Authors and Speakers Visibility Playground on Facebook. We work at lifting the whole community, not just me, not just a few. It's all about lifting the whole community. We're going to have networking groups so that you can get to know each other who's in the group. And as I just said, we have the referral mastermind every Thursday at 10 o'clock Pacific time. And I think you'd really love it. So I hope that you will join us. And I look forward to seeing you next week. It's been so wonderful having you here with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And please don't forget to like us and click the bell so you know when we have the next show. See you next week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.